Now let's look at what happened recently, where a victory for Nigerian women at the courts. But will that victory translate to reality? That's the big question on the lips of many Nigerians after the Federal High Court in Abuja ordered the government to comply with the 35% affirmative action for women. Justice Donatus Okorowo said the federal government had the obligation to implement the 35% affirmative action, accusing past governments of acting in breach of international treaties on women participation in government. Justice Okorowo added that the national gender policy is not merely a policy statement, but one that must be backed with requisite action on the part of the government. He said the 35% affirmative action, which entails appointive positions for women to ensure inclusivity, must not be merely on paper, as Nigeria is signatory to international treaties, particularly on those entrenching the rights of women. So let's talk this through by speaking with the National Deputy Chairman, Association of Local Government Vice Chairman of Nigeria and Executive Vice Chairman, Ikorodu Local Government Area, Arebinrin Folashade Olabanjioba. Thank you so much for being on TVC News this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so what does this ruling mean for the Nigerian democratic polity?
Well, for us, I want to say it's a landmark victory, not just for now, for generations coming. It is a positive one. I think women were more encouraged that we've raised our voice, we've gone to the courts again, and hopefully this will override all that happened in the past few weeks with the National Assembly and all that. So we're back, better, and really, really behind Nigeria.
Right, and bigger as well.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at some of the contentions by the plaintiff. One of it is that all of the 44 ministries, there are only about 6 female gender, and that the situation is worse in other MDAs and agencies. So why has it been very difficult to have more women in elective positions?
Well, we've had that issue. We talked about so many things, the cultural, religious, and all that, you know. But we're not where we used to be, but we're not where we need to be either. But the good news is, I think it's going to get a lot better. This will encourage more women to take bold steps and really be out there. You can't give what you don't have. If we're not there in the space in the first place, nobody's going to call you from your home. So,
well, just like you said this will give women to come out. But the question I want to ask is, how sure, not sure, but how confident are you that women would definitely want to come out with all of this? Because some women generally, naturally, just want to take the back seats, so to speak. But quite different from seeing women coming out just like you, holding the political position and all that. But do you think this would really energize them to come out?
It should. No excuses. Okay. I mean, the laws are there, the policies are there. How much more better can it be? So I think it should encourage a lot of us, to take the bold step.
Looking at the current, setting, the African setting, although we know that South Africa has got 50% affirmative for women, and some other country, I can't remember the name, Kenya has got 25%. Rwanda. So yeah. we are just, paltry 35% for women, which has not really materialized. But then looking at the setting, the African setting, where we believe that it's a patriarchal system.
It is.
Here in Nigeria. And they believe that the time of the meetings for women, for politics and all that, doesn't really or may not augur well for the women folk. Because if you're having a meeting at the midnight where you're supposed to be the pillar of the home, taking care of the family, how do you think that's going to make it possible?
Those were old perceptions. I think those were old perceptions to really get us out of the space. Nobody says any job is going to be easy, but the time is there. You can manage yourself very well. Women were meant to be multitasking and all that. We really juggle much more. And I think when you have women at the helm of affairs and all that, pretty much you don't have to worry. It gets done passionately, with all the best of us. So, and I know the more of us that are there, the better it is for the country. You talked about those countries like Rwanda and all, not a day, but if you see the domino effect and all that now, one of the most thriving economies out there. So, and in Nigeria, I think the men still get the credit, whatever you do, and we just need the numbers to be up. The numbers are not encouraging at all.
Right, let me put you in the spotlight. You're a very outspoken, politician. Let me just put it straight.
That's right.
How have you been managing, politics, political affairs, being responsible to Nigerians, this you're representing, and the whole?
Nothing but the grace. But honestly, you don't take up a job if you know that you can't do it. So political office is a public office. You must be available. And so sometimes the home, you've got to learn to balance it out. And that's where I talk about the support system. Most times if you have a spouse or your family and all that, you have to carry them along with you. And the times that you're not there, because most times you're not going to be there as needed. You need to be able to put things in place so that they don't get to miss out so much. But your job first.
So what kind of a motivation do you get? For instance, the former German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, she said she didn't have maids, she didn't have those who work for her home, that she ensured that she cooked for her family, she does the laundry, the husband, the shared things between between her and her husband. And she was able to deliver Germany. She was able to be one of the best leaders the world has ever produced. So what kind of motivation do you really get? Or what do you see as role model? Who rather do you see as role model?
Well, that is one great woman that got my heart. But I think also the kind of spouse that you have as well. I think I'm blessed. My husband is one that would tell me that, honestly, I wish I could have you more, but if I stop you, then God will never forgive me, because I know the country needs you. And so I'm not meant to, do too much babysitting and cook morning, afternoon, night. And he just understands. So that's why I said your family must be in it with you to support you. So the things you don't get to do is not so much so many times, but quality times when you do have it. And
so how should it start? Should women representation in political positions begin with appointment, which gives them more visibility and positions, positions them for government offices?
No, volunteering for me, it's relevance. For me, the pure meaning of politics is relevance. Be there, add value in your community at whatever level you find yourself. Be available, offer your free services to, whereby, most times we get to do more before we are even noticed or given the chances. And also, you must end the trust. I want to say that. You must, because most times in our system, the women, whatever they be like, is a woman. So, but when they know you've got disease, capacity, capabilities, and, they don't have a choice.
How is that going to work? Because we know that politics in this part of this world it's done by the money bags. So if you don't have enough money, how do you want to impact your immediate environment? How do people want to take you serious when you don't have money? But you might get the intellect, you might be intellectual, you might be visionary, but then what if you don't have the money? How does it work?
Well, nobody says anything is easy. Here we talk about instant gratification. Everybody wants something now. So if you're able to delay your gratification and just offer your services, if you really love the people, honestly, it's no brainer. It's easy. And you are consistent at whatever you do. Sooner or later, you will get your day. And you'll be better at it.
We talk about godfatherism all the time, because despite the fact that we've got male-dominated, patriarchal kind of political polity that we have, we've got godfatherism. So are you saying that the women should also follow suit, looking for godfathers who could, help them sponsor these elective positions?
Well, I think the word godfatherism sometimes is blown out of proportion, because even back in secondary school, we had school mothers and school fathers. Okay. You need somebody as a role model to at least help you along. It's like an intern. When you're learning something, you need somebody that you know is worthy of emulation, that, you know, this is the way I want to go. Am I right? Am I wrong? So obviously you need that. The job of ruling or doing anything phenomenal in Nigeria, it's not kids club. So definitely you need somebody larger than you to be able to help you along. But godfatherism, the way it's been done, I think is just used most of the time to deter, or let me use the biases, the perceptions, to get the women out of the space. It's
not exactly about the women, because he will, you know, pays the piper, calls the tune. They say you can't, you know, you definitely be subservient to someone who sponsors you.
Sponsor.
And the person might be the one ruling from behind.
No, the party sponsors you. You always have to come from a cell.
Let me just say bankroll.
Oh, no. The party bankrolls you.
Right.
It is the party. The party is supreme. It's just the way you emerge from the ward level to the local government level to the state. So it's a process. But when you use all those words like one individual holding a cane on it don't work like that. The country almost 200 million now. And so can you imagine one person control? Come on. Not real.
Right. So just trying to say that we've got a lot of people who are intellectuals in the country. But so how do you think this ruling will be carried out at the end of the day?
Well, not that it's not there before. It's just that, you know, sometimes you look at who's policing the police. Yes, on paper. How do you now get it to real life? But so many things has to be in place for us to get the numbers. And so, yes, the sensitization and all that, but also telling the women that you don't get it just by being a woman. Develop yourself. Be in the space. You know, like if you're not at the table, you're not at the table. When it's voting, when things are going to be done, if you don't have enough of us, maybe for things that are gender, you know, then you're not going to get it at the end of the day. So, but it's a process, and you'd have to know that you work your way up to the top.
So recently we've got the All Progressives Congress, your party, declaring free nomination forms for the female aspirants ahead of the 2023 general election. So do you consider this a welcome development?
A great one. I'm elated, I'm excited, okay? That just tells you what our great party is all about. And for me, that is a great step forward. I'm sold out on our new woman leader. You know, that's the first assignment. Right. Reassurance that, yes, we've got a leader that truly has a voice for us. And we have a new chairman of the party that we believe so much in now, that as women, we don't have to worry. He's got our back.
I was taken aback when I saw that, because we know how much it costs for you to, you know, buy a form, to buy a nomination form. It's very it can break the bank if you don't have enough.
Okay, like when I saw them, like seriously, you know, so it's a good one.
So this is going to push a lot of women outside.
Yeah.
And there will be, what happens when we have so many people?
No, it's still a process. Right. You know, you still have the clause conditions. You know, you still have to be able to meet up certain criteria. Okay, so but the bottom line is, get more people in the space, then you have more choices, and the better the choices, the better for the country.
Let's dig deeper, because when you said criteria, it can be somewhat ambiguous. Could you try to be specific? What are the things that, for instance, the ruling party look in the woman, saying, okay, she's got this, she's got that, and she's fit to run for elective position?
That's why I said the earlier you get in the space, the better. That way you've got your antecedents, you've got a little bit history. You are not just somebody that's come from the sky. You know, the trust is very, very important, to where you don't just want power or you want to be given a position just because you're a woman, when you're not able to handle the position when you get there. You know, for some of us, it's been so many years, almost 2 decades. We've gone through the process. We're still on the process, but we're here. No, nothing else. The greater Nigeria is what is on our mind.
So make yourself very relevant and, you know, also be there, let them see you.
Yeah.
So how surprised do you get whenever there is election and you see that a woman who is out there slugging it out with the menfolk and she's not been voted for by her own gender. Her own gender prefer to vote for the menfolk. So how do you think this is going to change the reality, so to speak? Well,
like I said, that hurts a bit, but I think it's all about the knowledge and the relevance of what we have in our hands. As women, we make up almost, well, I'd say over half of the population. Okay, so if you look at it, we don't take advantage of it enough. So right now, I think we're now appreciating one another. The sisterhood spirit is in us now. When you're up there, make sure you help. Get somebody else, you know. We're born nation builders, so it is going to be for a better and greater Nigeria, of course.
Is this trying to supplant the role of the menfolk? Because 35% female, Senate aspirant, 35% a female aspirant, Senate aspirant who is aspiring for the Senate. She was already saying that it has to be increased to 50%.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going. The fear that the male folk could be pushed to the yeoman level is something that
it's scary.
It's kind of scary. So
but when you think that even this 35% was 1995, the Beijing, okay, and so many years we haven't even gotten up to that. We think we should be at about 50 now, but I know our men were like, no, we can't trust you guys enough. And, you know, until you can really prove to us that, you know, you're not going to run us out of town, that we're safe, you know.
Because we've seen it in movies.
No, that's movies. In real life, and I want to talk about
the entire country.
And I want to say in Nigeria, the men still have it. Whatever it is, the men get the credit. So the trust, it's like we're making all that we can do now so that we are trusted more, you know. So at the end of the day, they know that it is not just about, you can't do it without the men. No.
Right. So in the face of insecurity, nose-diving economy, corruption, terrorism here and there, of what have you, will having women in power redirect this, misgivings of the nation? Final thoughts.
I wanna believe that, because the president was raised by a woman. And the other side of it, the vices, the troubles and all that, all of them also came from a home cell. So the more women that are occupying their space, taking care from the family up, I think the better the society will be.
All right, so let's see how all of these will definitely pan out at the end of the day, because truth be told, the menfolk are looking forward to seeing how this is going to be done, because they say the menfolk can be so strong and the womenfolk are so emotional, they can be so pampering, so that if things go awry, they might break down emotionally. Is that correct?
That's not right. We are the ones that are actually meant for the rough roads. We juggled so much. And I know my husband says it like, honestly, I give it to you. Because what we juggle, he probably can do it. Yeah.
Thank you very kindly. National Deputy Chairman, Association of Local Government Vice Chairman of Nigeria and Executive Vice Chairman, Ikorodu Local Government Area, Arebirin Folashade Olabanjioba. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, sir. This morning. Thank you, sir.